ton of anxiety and just a ton of bad feeling. I've been really putting off this video. I have been totally lost over the last month and I've been finding training really hard. I've been struggling a lot more with my anxiety and it's for a very specific reason. So I trained to compete in the English Nationals in weightlifting and I achieved the qualifying total. I worked so hard for well over a year to get to that total. It was my main goal and has been my main goal with my training. Obviously I still do CrossFit. I do CrossFit for enjoyment and I love it and I compete for fun in it occasionally, but my main goal has been weightlifting. In my last video that you will have seen about me, I got the qualifying total for the English champs and I was absolutely buzzing, and I knew pretty certainly that I would be in because it seemed like everybody was going to qualify that qualified over the qualifying total. What actually happened is they qualified people for the English championships based on a first come first serve basis as long as you were above the total, but the places were really limited. So we've got some categories that have like 21 athletes in them and other categories like mine that only have 5, and they aren't based on who lifts the most. It was literally on that day, on August the 1st, when the tickets got sold, who could buy them the quickest, and they sold out and I didn't get a place. A lot of us have let British weightlifting know that we're not happy about this and this shouldn't be the way that an English Championships is run. If they do in fact have limited spots, then it should at least qualify the top 10 athletes in each category. The top athletes in all categories missed out because on August the 1st they were competing in the Commonwealth Games. So at the moment we have a scenario where the English Championship will not have the English champions even competing, which is mad. And it seems like they're doing work to rectify it. I had an email the other week saying, express your interest, if you're within the top 10 let us know, we are trying to change the situation. But there's still so much uncertainty. It just feels to me like it's a massive letdown. Having trained for so long with this as my only goal, it's so demotivating. In CrossFit, if you qualified in the top 10, there would be no question whether you're going. It wouldn't matter how fast your internet was or how quickly you bought a ticket. You were in based on your ability. So that happened on the 1st of August and it's now the 25th of August and I'm lost. For the last month I've just been stuck because I don't know what I'm training for. I don't know whether I'm training for the English Championships or whether I'm just training and then I'll find out that I'm still not in. I'm 7th in the UK, so that's the UK including the whole of Britain, so I'm definitely within the top 10. I should get a place, but without knowing that and without being able to plan for that, I just feel completely lost. So because of this, I've really been struggling with my weightlifting training. I've been missing lifts purely because the desire isn't there. I don't know what I'm training for anymore and I'm not enjoying Olympic weightlifting training as much as I was. I think because there's been so much stress around it, and what I am doing is I'm really enjoying CrossFit more. Through working with Chloe, my nutritionist, I've started to realise that I'm allowed to do other sports if I want to. So I love stuff like swimming. I've done triathlons in the past. I really enjoy like the idea of being like a hybrid athlete. I'm really missing like deadlifting super heavy and squatting super heavy and like bench press. I used to do a bit of powerlifting before and I kind of just want to add all of those things in and not really have a goal and just train for like balance and general health and well-being, and weightlifting isn't towards that goal. And that was my goal after the English Championships. The aim was to compete in the English Championships and then after that take off all of the reins and train exactly how I want to and just train for general health. But because I don't know, I turn up to every weightlifting session with a ton of anxiety and just a ton of bad feeling, especially if I'm having like an off day or I'm feeling bad. I'm like, what is this all for? Like, why am I even putting my body through this? Because it is hard. Like, weightlifting training is super hard and I'm doing like 2-hour sessions, so I'm doing weightlifting before CrossFit, and like CrossFit is my little treat that I get to do after I've done my weightlifting. I do enjoy a lot of the weightlifting on some days, but more and more I'm enjoying it less, and I just feel like I want to snatch a couple of days a week and clean and jerk a couple of days a week and just get it in, not necessarily train to be good anymore. The pressure is not good for me at the moment. With all this anxiety around lifting and not knowing what I'm lifting for, it means I'm missing more frequently and training is getting harder because I don't know why I'm doing it. The English was the last competition that I was going to do before I move on to training more for balance and for health and for enjoyment. But now, not knowing whether I'm even doing that, I'm like, do I just start to train for health and drop the weightlifting focus for now? Do I give up on on competing at the English Championship and accept that it's not going to happen, and then if it does happen, it's like a nice little bonus. But I just accept that I'm not going to be like at my peak for that competition and put my mental health first and just find my love and enjoyment for training again. And I think that is the way I'm going. I'm not giving up on weightlifting. I'm still going to do it. I've spoken to my coach and I'm going to do 2 days a week, and I'm honestly going to take the pressure off myself and not care if I progress or if I just get what I can done on that day. I've started swimming again and I'm loving it so much, and it does make me think that in the future I would like to do a triathlon, and I'm giving myself permission to give up on a weightlifting session or a CrossFit session in order to do something like swimming, or maybe get back to road cycling. Or I've just bought a paddleboard and I live in Cornwall, so I am surrounded by the sea. I just want to get out and do activity that I enjoy, and maybe go in and do like a heavy deadlift day in the gym if I feel like it, like come in and do a little bit of open gym and just train how I'm feeling. I'm also really enjoying like improving in my gymnastics, so my strict pull-ups have improved, my toes to bar has improved. I'm getting generally fitter at CrossFit, and I'm really enjoying CrossFit sessions, and I've dropped those down to 4 a week, so I didn't feel like I was beating myself into the ground with my training, which is my default. For years I trained as a form of punishment, and I would train 6 days a week, and most of those days would be double days, and now I train 4 days a week, and it's between 2 hours to 1 hour a day, and I'm enjoying it so much more. But I feel like I want that variety back, and I want to have the energy to go out and like walk the dog and go for a run if I fancy it, or just do something movement based that's totally random. Like go climbing. I love climbing. I used to make myself like earn other types of fitness. I was only allowed to do other types of fitness if I had done enough CrossFit or if I had done enough weightlifting. But now I'm scrapping that completely, and I'm just allowing myself to ditch a CrossFit session if I would rather go paddleboarding. I know it's like totally against this kind of hustle culture that we have going on, like 24/7 grind, like drop all your excuses, all this focus on winning and being the best you can possibly be, and I'm just not about that anymore. I used to be. I won a load of competitions in teams. I used to be that person. I used to compete a lot. I've probably done over 40 competitions in my entire duration of CrossFit, and I would have loads of podium finishes. I would really enjoy winning, but there was always so much pressure, and I don't know whether I was loving it that much. It was just I was so validated by winning and now I don't care about that anymore. I feel like I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I feel like I've done big competitions and small competitions and done really well in most of them. I have no aspiration to be a CrossFit Games athlete or even at the top in Olympic weightlifting. I just want to take part, and I love my training. Although I'm sure people will think I'm like lazy or a quitter, all of those things people tell you when you just decide that you're not valued by winning anymore. But I don't care. Like, my mental health comes first, and it comes before anyone else's opinion about me now, and that never used to be the case, and I'm proud of myself for that growth. I'm also really enjoying like training around my cycle. I'm finding that's much better for me mentally. So early on in my cycle I train quite intense, I lift heavy weights, I do a lot of CrossFit, and then later on in my cycle that's when I start to add in more of the like swimming and a few more walks and more gentle movement, as well as bits of CrossFit here and there, and I'll drop the percentage like effort down a little bit on CrossFit. So if I'm in my like late luteal phase and I'm exhausted, I'll go into a CrossFit session and be like, I'm allowed to just give 50% today. That never happens. I always end up giving like 80 to 100%, but I'm allowed. Having that is much better than like the past Beth, where I was like, I always have to give 100% every single day, which was terrible for me, mentally and physically. I also think I'm gonna step away from competitions in general, and I had in my head that the English Championships were the last competition. Don't hold me to this, as I know what I'm like. I tend to just sign up for things. But the intention is that maybe I just focus more on my life and not defining myself by my ability. I imagine I might occasionally throw my hat in the ring with a friend to do something fun. But I've done so many competitions, they do all feel very similar. And I have other priorities in my life now, I think. The things I really value are like helping people. I want to help more people get stronger, and that's why I've been bringing out my programs, and I've been doing my PC qualification, and I'm so excited about the future of that and being able to support more people at any stage get into fitness. That really excites me more than me personally being the best at a sport that I do. And then family. I value my family a lot more, and I've had a very turbulent life. A lot of things have happened to me that should never happen to anybody, and I'm finally in a space where I feel safe and I feel loved, and I've got a home with a partner that I adore and a little dog, and I just feel like I care about that a lot more than I do continually getting better at fitness. And I don't know what lies ahead for that. We do want a family in the future. So I think what's best for me is that I start to foster this relationship with exercise that is about health and happiness and not about peak physical performance, because they can be very different. I want to have this repertoire of movements that I enjoy that I can always go to. No matter what stage of life I'm in, I want to have a long list of activities that I love and that I can do at any point. And I think that's what I'm going to continue to build on my ED recovery, and no longer seeing exercise as punishment and not forcing myself to do anything that I no longer want to do. So it's not like sexy, like goal-based, I'm gonna grind and do this for the next year. It's the complete opposite. And this is me doing what's right for me and my health and my life. And the prospect of that honestly makes me really happy. Although I am still really sad about the English Championships and I still don't know what's going to happen. I would love that to be resolved soon, but I've not got my hopes pinned on it anymore. I've just hit 4,000 subscribers, which I'm absolutely buzzing about. And I've got more of you flooding to my videos and letting me know that I'm suddenly popping up on your pages, which is great. I want to know whether you just do CrossFit or whether you do other sports. So comment below CrossFit or comment another sport that you do. I'd love to know. I want some inspiration. Please fist bump that like button if you understand where I'm coming from and you're also striving for balance in your training. I really appreciate the support. If you'd like to watch some of my training videos, I've got a whole vlogs playlist right here. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.